We're just gonna start it. Okay, let's do this. Come on, don't be a John. You got this. Oh my god! Holy, dude. Alright, just let me die. Nope, just let me die. Dead Space is a masterpiece that I didn't want to touch for a very long time. You might be wondering, Shrimp, how the hell did you get here then? Well, it all started when I had no new ideas for videos. Day after day I was recording and day after day I was deleting, making no progression and losing time. That is until I checked Steam. Suddenly, I saw it. A glimpse of hope in the endless sea of games. Dead Space Remake on sale for $15. A 75% decrease in price. How could I not buy it? With a few clicks and my wallet crying, we purchased one of horror's single most important game in the genre. The Dead Space remake improved from the old mechanics of the original game, while also having a fully voiced Isaac Clarke, and most importantly for me, the graphical upgrade. Between that and having a super strong computer, as well as an OLED TV with perfect pitch blacks and surround sound, well, it was a recipe for absolute fear, and I was going to shit myself. With that intro out of the way, let us now delve into the forgotten masterpiece that is Dead Space.
I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything.
Just like that, we get introduced to Isaac Clarke, Daniels, Hammond, and the rest of the crew. Isaac's been missing his baby mama for 6 months. You wouldn't turn down a job at the Ishimura, the ship where she's currently working at. But it's hard on any relationship considering they've been apart for 6 months, and the only way to communicate is through video call. A few moments later, we see the giant planet cracker, the USG Ishimura. Right off the bat, I have to congratulate the team. Good God, this scene is beautiful on its own. But as you know, anything in horror cannot last. Although beautiful and peaceful, it's quickly realized that there are no running lights in the USG Ishimura. If that wasn't already unnerving, there also seems to be no communication. Daniels herself asks Isaac if he's ever seen a full blackout.
You ever hear of a full communications blackout on one of these things?
Never. Come on. Someone pick up the damn phone.
When trying to dock, things go awry and quickly we're going down in a crash landing. Luckily, no one is hurt, or at least I should say, no one important. The team sets off to investigate and immediately we are met with a room that's in disarray. Lights flickering, with no idea of what's going on and no human in sight. We're tasked to get a damage report. Unfortunately for us, we see blood on the ground, and soon after, things take a turn for the worst.
What have you got?
Shit. It's not just comms or the guidance system. Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the trams.
You could do that kind of damage to a planet cracker.
No.
Power. Ventilation's up. Power to the elevators.
Okay, power's back. Oh my god.
Detected.
Ah, hell no.
Quarantine
Get the
activated.
fuck out of this game.
Another malfunction?
No. The quarantine systems are all fine.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Hammond?
Take it easy. Daniels, get those elevators.
There's something in here with us.
Oh my god! Holy, dude. Alright, just let me die. Nope, just let me die. Oh my god. Oh shit! Cock balls! Cock balls! You stupid ass fuck! Shut up! Oh, cock. Cock. Oh, balls! Oh, yeah, I'm fucked. Oh, never mind. Oh. With my heart pounding and my ass clenched, I safely made it down the elevator. Immediately, I begin hearing someone begging for help. And instead of running over like any decent human being, I decide to get myself a weapon because that. If you didn't quite catch that, right above the gun is text that says cut off their limbs. Foreshadowing? Yeah. For me, one of the things that makes Dead Space absolutely brilliant is the fact that you don't just get an average weapon. It's not a gun. It's a welding tool that engineers use. And this plasma cutter, with Isaac's ingenuity, is now used to cut off the limbs of these necromorphs. Although I will say my aim was quite terrible, but to be fair, if I was Isaac in that very moment, I think I would do the exact same thing and be missing all over the place, while also occasionally hitting my target. For one, Isaac is not a soldier himself. For two, this shit is terrifying. Who the hell would be able to aim correctly? No matter where you go, you are never safe in this game. But although there is much death in this game and you don't really see anyone ever, there is somehow a feeling of life, because every now and then you find recordings and they help fill in the knowledge gaps.
Security request retrieved.
It didn't die. We shot that fucker right between the eyes and it didn't die. Smith had to shoot its fucking arms and legs off. For God's sake, send help!
Luckily, Isaac makes his way through to the tram system, where he meets up with Hammond and Daniels. Isaac had realized that some of these monsters were wearing the Ishimura uniforms, but that's quickly glossed over as we have to fix the tram system as it's down due to the quarantine. Since we're part of the repair team, it is now falling onto us, or in this case, Isaac, to go do everything. With a few final words from our team and them saying that Nicole will probably be fine, we head off to a save station and end for the day. With this wonderful heart attack inducing intro, I had to take a break. Fast forward to a couple days later, I decided not to play the game anymore with headphones and decided to use my surround sound system. The good, it sounded amazing. The bad, the recording was, well, not really usable anymore. As I was progressing through the beginning part of the game, lots of the missions were rather simple. Isaac has to go from point A to point B and fix a variety of issues. Personally though, once I got my stasis module, I felt a bit safer than before, considering just how much it slows enemies and, well, things that will kill you, like these doors. 3D audio and surround sound make scenes like this absolutely terrifying. I didn't like that one bit. Not one fucking bit. You can hear my heart pounding. What the fuck? I love the loot system in this game. First of all, just stomping on this box is just so satisfying. Loot incentivizes me to actually go into rooms that I would rather not, but what's better, loot or being scared? And I chose loot. The stasis module just comes in clutch, making necromorphs at least a little bit less scary when I don't have to worry about getting bomb rushed. The game itself likes to have a couple little puzzles that aren't too difficult to figure out if you have a brain, but sometimes it takes you a bit. And luckily for me, I realized, oh yeah, this probably needs stasis for me to not have it lose grip. Wait a minute, stasis? Grip? What can I do with that? The atmosphere that this game provides is just so unnerving. Added to the fact that I have perfect blacks on my damn TV, well, the game truly transforms into being a horror experience. God damn, this shit is dark on my OLED, what the fuck? I can't see dick. Surrounded by nothing but a bunch of noises all around me, hearing monsters crawling out of vents, screams all over me, and well, it's a recipe for me shitting my pants. That experience alone is what I paid for when I bought Dead Space, so it's pretty up there in terms of my rating of how terrifying can this game get. Some of my favorite moments were spent reading codexes, from everyday life like playing poker or inviting friends, to someone that is talking about the freakiness that is Unitology, or someone who's being hunted down and is about to die. Reading about the people's everyday life in the Ishimura, to seeing the desperate measures of survival that they've tried, and hearing the horror stories adds to the overall atmosphere that Dead Space creates. We can't talk about Dead Space if we're not talking about the upgrade system. It's as easy as it comes. You pick a tree path, you get damage, you get health, and honestly, really the only issue that I saw during my playthrough was not having enough nodes to upgrade more than one weapon. Remember when I mentioned useless and non-memorable NPCs? Well, this is what Dead Space does to them. That was a pretty gruesome death, but hey, I'm gonna be honest, she probably had the best death possible, compared to everybody else who was getting mutilated inside and out, tested on, tortured, and or facing the trauma that is watching your friends turn into horrific monsters that aren't gonna kill you. Yeah, remember when I said that she could have had it worse? Yeah. Honestly, I wish that the pulse rifle was better than it was, but you know what? One extra gun is better than no gun, I guess. This is my personal hot take, but I think the medical room has to be the scariest area in the game. It's early enough that you're still scared of everything in the game. It contains some of the most frightening events. The lore is pretty strong here, and you get to meet some of the cooler variants of necromorphs. I wasn't lying, these little baby shits are the most annoying creatures I would face. I hate them with a passion. I don't really know how to kill them fast, but I know that they're super annoying to find, and they can be a real annoyance if you're crowded by a bunch of necromorphs. I know that in horror games, the protagonist has to have a pretty good goal to stay around and face the consequences of seeing these disgusting monstrosities, but out of all the characters I've ever played, Isaac's got it. She a little Betty, not gonna lie. Seeing a row of dead patients is not on my bucket list. If I could give an award for the best cinematic, it would have to go to this scene here. I'm sorry, it's the best thing I had seen. It's one of those scenes that when you watch it, you stand up and just go, holy crap. It was so well done and it was freaky as hell. Seeing this necromorph transform in real time right on top of Isaac with its guts spilling all over me, I think this deserves the Shrimpy Award. The most pristine thing you could ever get on this channel. If you agree with that, hit the like button and subscribe. Also comment down below. What's your favorite scene? Zero gravity can be a pain in the butt, but I think they honestly handled it as best as they could. Mind you, I was playing on hard and up to this point I had not died once, so this actually made me really sad. 10 out of 10, I was not expecting the tentacle hentai. Also, I hate running zombies. Shoot first, ask questions later. And if you don't want to shoot anything at all, then go ahead and flush it down the toilet. That's at least what I call the Hammond solution. On my mama's life, I was not expecting this big tank to come out of the doors like that. You can obviously tell I was panicked because shooting it in the front was in fact not working. Luckily, them back shots be hitting hard. I will never not get tired of these recordings. One thing that just sucks on the Ishimura is the fact that you just can't trust anything. My baby mama was near, and as we got there, turns out it was just a hologram and a transmission, all to get us cornered. And I was introduced to one of the most hated characters I've met so far, Dr. Mercer. He's a little rat that runs around with his stasis, capturing anybody who could be used as a subject to be tested on. But more importantly, he's the asshole who unleashes the hunter on me. And I'm gonna be honest, that boy was looking for some booty, and I don't got no booty. The hunter itself is not unkillable. You could just break off its limbs, hyper beam it, and then stasis it. Rather simple, to be honest. It's the fact that this son of a bitch just keeps regenerating. Not a concept that I'd want to face in a survival situation. Add on to that some toxic fumes and, well, we have a recipe for what the fuck. We were obtaining new guns, all of which were really cool. Only problem is, if you attach more than one, you start getting a bunch of ammo everywhere. Which would sound amazing, that is until you don't have the ammo that you need to face the problem. Truly, I enjoy the Church of Unitology. It is a great setup to being the antagonist of the series. First of all, it's really close to Scientology. But more than that, they are a creepy little cult that just really believes in some utter bullshit until the marker appears. The very godly being that causes this whole mess up. That's right, necromorphs and all this other crap was happening because of a giant rock. Alien technology. And these people found it, brought it, and now we have to suffer the consequences because of it. As I was progressing through Dead Space, I was not expecting to finally meet another human. One that A, isn't trying to kill you, or B, is already dead. It turns out that the monster behind the door, the Leviathan, is poisoning the air. And unfortunately for her, her team had turned into what we call wheezers. We have to inject these wheezers with an enzyme that would counteract the poisonous air. I got really creeped out in the greenhouse. The greenhouse itself wasn't destroyed, plants were alive. It just felt wrong. The atmosphere that this created really played into the creepiness. Hearing the cricket sounds, the buzzing, it felt like I was taking a stroll at the park in the morning. What should be calm and relaxing is everything but that. We got the force gun and got the achievement full arsenal, so now we're kitted out. So remember the Wheezers? Yeah, so they were part of the scientists group, and well, they're not having a great time, so we put them out of the misery by stabbing them in the neck and stopping the pollution. After trekking around the map and stabbing a whole bunch of Wheezers, we finally were able to go confront the Leviathan. I was not expecting this. It was a ginormous pod in the middle with a whole bunch of tentacles coming out and attacking me left and right. Now the first time I faced this, I messed up and used up all my ammo, which in turn just led to me just getting clapped. Seriously, how? Why? What am I doing? On my second attempt, I conserved my ammo, used the objects around me like the gas canisters, and after a couple minutes of destroying its tentacles and making the face attack me, we finally managed to beat the Leviathan. It was like the Ishimura was very constipated and we helped flush out a ginormous crap. Seriously, seeing this monster get flushed out like that is insane. It reminded me of the movie Aliens when the Queen Xenomorph was thrown out. The scientist Cross lets us know that her friend Jacob is now creating an SOS beacon, and that if we go over there we might be able to help. And so we have to make our way to the mining control group. After traversing through some booby traps, facing some monsters, using my force gun, we finally made it to the control room. Unfortunately, we can't do anything because we don't have the credentials to access anything. So off we go again. I destroyed some of the debris that was blocking our ability to continue, killed a bunch of necromorphs that were attacking me left and right, I picked up a recording from Supervisor Dallas, and it goes to show that humans will go through some of the most extreme measures when it's needed.
And I cannot let that happen to me. At least if I don't have any limbs, and I can't kill anyone when I'm infected.
Shut off his own fucking limbs. Holy shit, she's alive. I thought she was dead. Why does this bitch look creepy? Where are you looking? So based off my reaction, you can obviously tell that I was not believing for a second that she was actually real. That, or I thought that maybe Unitology got to her first, considering she was acting a little strange. After protecting her from the necromorphs, she lets us know that we should continue with our mission to get the SOS beacon going, but something just doesn't feel right to me. Fetch and go, fetch and go. We destroy things and get ready to launch this asteroid thing. But once we do, guess who's back? Yeah, he's on my ass. If you've never seen a man panic, then look no further, for you will see me go absolutely ballistic and have no idea what I'm doing. I never talked about it, but seeing Isaac get his suit changed to add more defenses, it's subtle and yet it's so genius. It's not like I get some crazy new piece of armor that makes me look like a god. No, he's just adding more armor to it, making it resistant to slicing and piercing, and just about anything to counter a necromorph. Isaac has become a killing machine, and to honor him, I said, you know what, let's do some side quests. And there we went. After getting as far as I can on the side quest, I finally decided, let's get back to the main mission. Turns out our SOS beacon worked pretty well, for the USM Valor is inbound, but not before I get attacked by a whole bunch of monsters. We ended up finding Bailey's rig, and we found something out. This whole operation was illegal. It was not supposed to happen, and they kept it on the hush-hush. As for the recording for Captain Matthias, well, he is a Unitologist. There's no doubt about that. He loves the fact that he got the prize, the marker, and doesn't care that he might be in trouble with the CEC. Also, he does this Hail Altman, and I just don't like this Power Ranger pose of his. Fun fact, I suck at puzzles. This took way longer than it needed to be. First of all, Valor uniforms, dope. Secondly, that escape pod, well, turns out that's where we flushed down Chen, and this is gonna bite us in the ass. As if things couldn't just get any worse, the goddamn Leviathan is back. Homie clung on like a dingleberry. Why? We quickly ran out there and started blasting away at its crusty shell, trying to get into that nice orangey soft side, and with a couple blasts and booms, we managed to detach him. Yeah, low-key kinda peeved that they couldn't kill one necromorph. How the hell? I killed so many, you guys can't kill one. And because of that, they crashed their ship into the Ishimura, causing even more problems. Why do you hate me, game? It's fine, it's fine. At least Hammond is there to tag team this whole ship with me, right? Yeah, well, you see, with these Twitchers coming out, I was starting to doubt the ability that we would be able to do anything. Dr. Kine gives us a call and tells us how we could stop this, but Isaac is not listening because, yeah, no, why would I want to listen to any Unitologist? Turns out this ship has a nuke, and Isaac, after Hammond told him to go fix it, is kind of annoyed that he has to do it. So annoyed that we ended up blowing ourselves up. Luckily, I got some re-zero abilities and just revive after my checkpoint. It turns out that the USG Ishimura breached EarthGov system isolation orders, and they believed that they had recovered the Marker 3A. The special ops were then sent out, told to exercise extreme caution. Their orders were to recover the Marker 3A. If the infection is present, initiate sterilization protocol Eurydice. If the infection was not present, initiate containment protocol Apollo. And lastly, all personnel without exception must submit to a full psychological examination during debriefing. If you are like me, then you probably dislike the fact that special ops got clapped by one necromorph. But as a matter of fact, that is the genius that is Dead Space. For you see, the necromorphs themselves should be pretty resilient to normal weaponry. It is not a coincidence that the mining and engineering groups survived the longest. Part of it was due to the fact that they had the best weaponry against these unknown creatures. Call it as it is, a weakness found by chance. Because although bullets don't really work well against the necromorphs, cutting off their limbs and lasering off all their body parts does. Oh hey, we found Hammond. Ah, shit, it's Chen. I'll be honest, I wasn't too impacted by his death, although, what the heck, man, you know Chen is dead. How does this get you? Regardless, Hammond goes all savage mode and decides to throw himself and Chen into the engine. They end up exploding, and we get to pick up the singularity core, which we need in order to pilot our escape ship. The ship is going down, but we're not going with it. Isaac barely makes it out as he's getting flung around in space. With that, Chapter 9, Dead on Arrival, is finished, and so begins Chapter 10, End of Days. But wait a minute, we still have some side quests to do, and that's exactly what we did. Off we went to get some of the rigs that we needed to get in order to get the master ranked bypass. While we were at it, we also started upgrading our new weapons, because I got tired of using the same old thing. And yes, it was worth it to go back and get all the master locks, or at least some. I didn't get all of them, because I just did not have the mental energy to do it. Do you like damage? Alright y'all, time to see what this cult is all about. Okay. The fanaticism really runs deep, and honestly, from what I understood, someone with a lower intelligence gets affected by the marker much worse, while those who are really intelligent can actually resist or outright deny influence. Basketball was not on my bucket list, but I certainly played it to the end. As you can imagine, at this point, I was starting to stock up on a lot of different items. It felt nice. No longer am I running out of things. And here we go once more. We found Temple and Mercer. And well, Mercer is not too happy that Temple has run his course in usefulness. And like always, he stasis him and does the cowardly thing, shoots him in the back of the head. What's worse is that when you're stasis, it turns out that your death is even slower. Oh my god, why are you so obsessed with me? Mercer just keeps yapping about convergence and becoming one, and I don't even know. At this point, it just feels like he's into necrophilia. I end up stumbling in a room full of TVs, and suddenly there's a flashback where Nicole is speaking with Isaac. She asks about Octavia, Isaac's mother, and how she's doing so far, and it turns out that Isaac's parents are dead. Octavia ended up killing her husband and then shooting herself. And to make matters worse, Isaac's mother is a Unitologist, and so Unitology comes over and takes away their bodies. Isaac, in a fit of rage, decides to lash out on Nicole, blaming her and even saying that she is the reason why they're dead. Hey yo, chill, that's your honey boo boo, bro. Due to this, that's how the falling out began. We also learned that Isaac was actually the one who pushed her to go to the Ishimura. And now with big regrets, well, things start breaking down. With Isaac losing himself into grief and rage, he ended up losing Nicole as well. It explains why Isaac is so concentrated in finding Nicole. As we saw in the beginning intro, Nicole wanted to rekindle what was lost, as she apologized to Isaac and wished that they could start over again. We also see a hologram play where Nicole talks with Mercer after she sees eye to eye and the fact that these creatures are immortal, but Mercer lets her know that she is not a woman of faith but of science, and she knows that as well. But the guilt is going to be a lot for her, considering she was not able to save a lot of people. Mercer, on the other hand, will use the research that she has gained from autopsies to start experimenting. I mean, at this point, anything goes in this game. I understand it, lady. I get it. I love the fact that no matter what, as long as you have money, you have something nice. But also, if you have money and you're crazy, it looks like that. We shot the last final tendril that we needed to get, and we get locked into a room, ready to fight. We meet with Dr. Kine again, except this time he's actually explaining things that we would not have known. First of all, when we got the marker, it turns out that it woke up something called the Hive Mind from the planet below. And Jesus Christ, that thing looks freaking huge. The Hive Mind is actually the thing that controls all the necromorphs. And if we wanted to go back to slumbering, we'd have to go bring the marker to it again. That doesn't sound right, but also, wait, what? We found the marker, begin to transport it, not without a fight. We get to the ship and put in the singularity core, test that baby out, vroom vroom, and sure enough, there's the hunter. Damn dude, leave me alone. Luckily, this is actually the last time we'll see the hunter, and the reason why is because, well, we dragged him off into the fire, and you know what that means? Burn, baby, burn. Mercer is not too happy that we blew up his boy toy, and as a matter of fact, he's losing his mind, and suddenly a tentacle comes out and wraps him in the marker. Well, this is it, Mercer. He is not too happy that he was denied convergence. Good riddance. The tentacle also wanted some retribution, and it started poking and prodding where it didn't have to. Luckily, I bring a gun in every situation I'm in. Honestly, I probably made one of the worst mistakes, selling all my stuff to upgrade my armor. Yep, I had like 7 bullets to every gun. This was gonna not be great. With limited ammo, my butt puckered, and a bee's dick worth of health, we somehow made it. Luckily, we ended up getting this ornament, which we ended up selling for quite a bit of credits. Finally, I can buy some crap back. Also, come on, I could have used this before. We managed to get the marker onto the ship, and And we get backstabbed. God damn it! Daniels, come on! Yeah, she had to shoot my boy here. That was just uncalled for. She leaves me behind with nothing but dreams and hopes crushed, saying that Isaac is already resourceful and she's sure that he will make it out somehow. Unfortunately for her, my woman gives me a call. She has a way to get the ship back, and out of anger, we're following her even though she keeps saying something about convergence and making us whole. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that part. With that, we drag back the ship. Daniels uses the escape pod to get out of the ship. I board the ship that I worked so hard to get. In and out of consciousness, we were descending into the planet of unknown. Our objective is simple: bring the marker to the pedestal. Of course, there's gonna be a fight, but that's gonna be a piece of cake. At this point of the game, we learn so much lore. We also learned that the marker itself is actually not alien made, but in fact a replica made by humans. The original one that was found on Earth is nowhere to be found. This was just a replica. What happened on the Ishimura is why the CEC abandoned this area. We somehow activated the Jesus beam, and well, the giant rock is about to crash into us. Daniels comes back out of nowhere and she's holding my wife hostage. But then it turns out another twist is about to happen.
Why can't I see you again, Isaac? I loved you. I always loved you.
What we thought was my wife was in fact the scientist Cross, the lady we helped when we fought the Leviathan. Turns out our girl had already killed herself, and this whole time she was dead. But the marker managed to synchronize both Isaac and Cross's losses in their loved ones and utilized us to achieve its goals. Daniels shoots the living crap out of Cross, and there she goes too. We chase after Daniels, and unfortunately for her, the Hive Mind has fully woke up. She gets dropped in front of Isaac, and Isaac, with the last shred of humanity left, decides to reach his hand out to try to save Daniels. But the Hive Mind was not gonna let that happen. Dumb bitch. In a fit of rage, Isaac says one of the best lines I've heard all game. Alas, the game has come to an end. We face off against the Hive Mind, shooting the yellow sacks that it has. As this life or death fight ensues, the Hive Mind tries everything to stop us, but Isaac's too quick, too smart, and just better. A simple engineer to the necromorph exterminator. This is the moment where Isaac must succeed against all odds. And succeed we did as we shot off its face, and it fell into a slumber. Isaac stands up and makes his way to the ship, using everything he can to get out of orbit. Comet lands on the planet, and there it goes. Isaac, in the last moments, takes off his helmet to breathe. But hey, you can never leave your woman behind, can you? And that's the end of Dead Space. Truly a marvel. And as a matter of fact, we got so many rewards. 50,000 credits, 10 nodes, and the ability to play New Game Plus. I think I'm gonna keep playing. And I also think that this game is a true masterpiece. Until next time, Johnny Shrimp is out. 10 out of 10. I would play again, and I probably will.